Zama was those were one of the things that she said that I have to do. I'm like, oh shit, okay, oh, have to do that. And if you don't do it, apparently you seem as rude or just like some type of way. So I saw that, and it's very close knit, just like that, and it's very much social. People love socializing and just interacting. I think the biggest thing for me is the language barrier and not being able. I've been out to a bar and I've spoken to someone and she was speaking in complete French, didn't understand English, and we had it for like an hour and a half, and I was like we yeah. I didn't understand, but I was trying to understand in the expressions, in the way she was using. I don't know, in a way. So I think because I'm interested in the people more than the buildings. Yes, the buildings are very interesting. They have their own history, but I'm also interested in the culture and the people. But obviously, in order for you to understand, you have to learn the ways of being and learn the way that they speak. So for me, that is just a barrier that I have. And I think maybe that's my way of accessing what I want through the people. And I still want to do this thing of going to. I tried it at where Claire works. I asked her if she has like these bags that I'm looking for, or just like going to the kitchen and
But
finding
you're looking for those bags. Why are you looking for those bags? Because this is a
a question.
home territory. This is something that
I mean, I can
that
still.
you used to.
I mean, I started working with him fully on last year.
Yeah.
I don't fully think that I'm used to it, Kakulu.
No, but this is something that's part of your media. And comfort zone? Is that how you call it?
Comfort zone.
It's not yet though. I don't feel like it is. I feel like sculpture is a comfort zone for me.
I think
And
sculpture
installation.
and installation.
Sculpture and
Because you only work
installation.
with sculpture and I also think performance is your comfort zone.
Yeah. So
You do a lot of performance.
painting. I even started painting my mom on Mother's Day because I was like, let me go back to painting. Because I haven't done it in a while. Let me start drawing myself.
But I think you also went back to painting in your last residency. Last year. Because she told me that she didn't used to do painting before and you started doing those items of clothing.
Oh
And the
yes.
installation piece.
Yes, you're right. I forgot about that artwork. It's one I didn't show. So Alka's right, I started last year with painting. So it's about I don't want to be doing a lot of things. I'm like, okay, I don't know what I want. I can push it. I don't mind working with what I'm comfortable with, but then pushing it further. That's what I want. To see the growth that I want to see and see that, okay, yes, it's been made here. What is the impact of it from my surroundings? Sometimes it's going to be conscious, sometimes it's going to be in the unconscious or subconscious. Yeah. That is.
But you do get a bit of a shock.
In terms of language, and yeah, it's very different. It's just like what I mentioned, those tiny things that I'm like, oh, okay, similar to how we grew up in a way. Yeah.
And how did that grow out of you?
This one.
Yeah, the one that you're gonna build.
How did it grow out of me? How did it come about?
How did it came onto you? Yeah.
So I'm always reading up on. So in Eastern Cape, we have like always reading up on birds, but then they have a meaning, like superstitions in a way. So if you see an owl, it's bad luck, especially at night. If you see a certain bird, this is how the people in Eastern Cape used to migrate and sort of know. So there's this book that I'm reading called The House of Parlour, which speaks about the Xhosa nation and how they came to be in Eastern Cape, and what are the things that we're using to migrate, and how they knew the time of the day. So if the sun fell on the horns of the cow, they used to name it that, and they knew this is the time of the day now. So there were certain things that they knew that was around the nature. So I'm interested in that. If you see, all the birds have their own name, and a certain bird has sort of a superstition in a way. So it starts off as a bird. So the one that you loved, it was a yellow and blue bird. I was inspired at that. In my next life, I want to be a bird. that's yellow and blue. So I start with that, and I just research into the superstitions, and I ask my mom quite a lot about the type of birds and the animals and what does it mean if an animal is in a certain thing. If a ritual is being made and the animal is slaughtered and there's no sound, it doesn't make a sound, it's sort of bad luck. You have to start over.
Yeah.
So all those things that are embedded in my culture.
I have to tell you something more another time about animals and culture.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So it comes from that, and the colors also come from
But
that.
now this is a base for something.
Mm.
This is the start onto the piece.
Mm.
Am I correct?
Yeah. What's up? Need to understand.
And are you clear already of what you want from this residency, or completely lost, or?
I'm not yet clear. I don't want to ever make the mistake of coming to a space and be like, this is what I want to do. I did that with an Eisner, and I ended up making the work in the last 2 weeks because I had to scrap everything, the ideas that I went with. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna weave, I'm gonna make this. And when I got there, I was not interacting, and it was very frustrating. So I came very open-minded, but knowing that these are the materials that I came with. I came with canvas, and I bought paint, and I sort of can't really make sculptures because of traveling. And yeah, I think sometimes when I start on something, I'll start on that or burn something, and then from that I get an idea to push it further, and then from that, if I make that idea, something else comes in. So it's a step forward until I'm just documenting the process of it. There's no destination really, but it's
Sure.
yeah.
But the one on the floor that you said you got lost, or but the piece that you've still got folded is getting somewhere.
You think?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why I just put it aside.
Yeah. Let it rest for a day or two. Doesn't then it will jump at you with maybe a new direction.
Yeah.
Do you stretch your canvases up onto frames afterwards, or do you leave them?
I really leave them just like this. Or sometimes I put a metal frame.
A metal frame?
Yeah, just if I find like a piece of metal on the street,
No,
I just
says,
sew it on. So whatever I find around me, if I find like a shape on the street, then I'll sew it so that it creates that shape. So I haven't. Have I ever framed a work? I don't think I've ever framed a work.
But you don't stretch them onto. They are as they are, and then you might find a form as something like a structure to stretch it over.
Yeah.
Well, that's part of the work then. What you find to stretch it on is part of the work.
Yeah, it is. It is.
She does work a lot with foreign objects.
I do.
She uses a lot of foreign objects. So it's a sort of two-part thing.
I think I always want to go back to sculpture in everything that I do. So if I find a shape and it sort of creates like not a 3D, but it's not flat anymore. So it just imagine like a wavy thing, and I sew it in that way, so it becomes because I'm a sculptor, and that's what I was trained in. And then I started. But obviously in undergrad university, you had to do painting, photography, had to do drawing, all those things. So I sort of trying to do everything until I know if I
find the right, because it's multimedia, so
I
each piece
will,
is different.
Yeah.
Each piece has different outcomes.
Yeah.
Depends on materials.
Yeah.
I will repeat what I've said before, not directly to you,
Sure.
but you have the bones of a phenomenal artist.
A sense of that.
Figurative sense.
You have the backbone of phenomenal artists, and I want to find ways to be able to help you to get to release your artistic energy into something. And I have difficulties often because you're not a person that here there is an exhibition, piece 1, piece 2, piece 3, piece. It's not like that. So how we get, never mind for a person like me, but for the public at large to interact and be aware of what you're doing. And I always want to put it back into the frameworks that I know, and I can't because your work is not in those frameworks. So for me, it's also difficult to find a way to be useful for you. So maybe just I have to be patient and let you be and let you do, and but I see so much gold that I wanted to happen.
Start mining already.
And so it's very frustrating, especially when you see it from the outside. When you're in it, it's a bit of vertigo every day, and it's different when you see it from the outside. So you will see when you go inside, if you go on the TV, you look on the TV, you will see some of, I don't know if we can say the works. It's not even like, it's difficult. It's moments of interaction with material and sometimes people and environment, but they are really beautiful. There is one with paper plates. The paper, I guess.
Plastic plates.
Plastic. It's a phenomenal piece. Then there is another one with a bit of steel. I wouldn't know what to do with that rotten steel, but she manages to send something back to a very feminine thing, which is a safety pin, the motherhood, and just put on the wall, suddenly it becomes an unbelievable work of art. So those things are, but if I say, can I have that piece? Do you even know where that piece is?
Oh, it was bought by the owner of Blank Gallery.
Okay.
Yeah, in Cape Town.
Yeah. So then it's safe.
Yeah.
Then it's safe.
Yeah. So I think I had a conversation with my lecturer just after leaving school, and she's like, she doesn't know where I could fit into this not commercial art world, where they maybe creating your own one. And I understand that my work is not commercial, and I don't want to, if the artwork wants to, or the idea wants to be commercial, make
yes and no, because the matches became an addition, and that's a very formalized commercial practice.
Yeah.
So
the matchsticks were just like, it was, but it was, I think I was just getting a lot of influences, Oganye, asking people, can I do editions? Others say no, others say yes. I was very confused at that time. But I ended up doing editions but making an edition of a woodwork that is not 100% going to be the same. But so I had to explain to the buyers, and they were okay with it. So that is sort of sorted in a way. But I I think sometimes I was telling Uzam, I think this week there's a lot of things that I sort of want to talk about: history, trauma, my own also experience, my present experience, and my state of mind. And sometimes it gets too much, and I just want to take a break and shut it out. And sometimes when I don't take a break, I'll come back and I start sewing. When I sew, it's very therapeutic for me. I don't know, there's something about it that I enjoy. And when I make the marks at night, I usually play music, and I usually do it at night and by myself. And it's very, I'm dancing in a way. I used to listen to this artist, Oliver Mtukudzi, and I just start dancing, and sometimes just like crazy, and just making the marks, and then afterwards I burn it. So that's going to be burnt.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And to what state of burntness? Is it going to be completely burnt or mixed burnt just a little bit?
So it depends. Sometimes I'll burn half of it, and then I'll start patching it. I'm not sure if you used to, as a kid, when we were growing up, you'd wear pants and you'd be playing. I played a lot of soccer, so my pants would be broken or torn. So my mom would put like a patch of something else and sew it together. So it's that idea of covering something up, but it's not really. So I use that effect of just patching something. And I don't know. I think I do sometimes get confused. I know I want to make work, but I don't know where my work fits, or whether it does have to. And sometimes I take it as it comes. If the idea comes and it wants to be in drawing form, I'll do it. If it wants to be in painting form, I'll do it. If it's sculpture, performance, so whatever comes.
I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
That will be the conclusion for tonight.
Dun, 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 dun.
I want to tell you something, is that the second guy who ever came here as an artist was Nelson.
Yeah.
And he said, what the fuck am I doing here?
Yeah.
And he was scared because there was no noise at night and he wasn't used to that silence.
Yeah.
I saw him a month ago. Says, when can I come back? So enjoy it.
Yeah.
Make the most of it. Get lost.
Yeah.
Get lost. He got terribly lost here. You said, I'm in doubt, and he got terribly in doubt. You saw that little portrait?
Yeah.
He got very scared of where he was going to go next. But all of that, you've seen what, I'm not saying that the residency did that to him, but it helped him on his way to find more direction in how to be an artist for him. So by thinking, by resting, she rests a lot. By resting,
I sleep late. I sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I by the time you hear 11 o'clock, I'm still asleep.
So get lost. It's fun to get lost.
Yeah.
Nobody is gonna say at the end of the 6 weeks or whatever you spend here, so how many pieces? So
Yeah.
but hopefully you will feel like him, and that it was good to get a bit lost in translation.
Yeah.
In a culture that you see similitude, but you can't really get into it.
Yeah.
All of those things are phenomenal. You must go and sleep on his couch.
We tried to.
And spend the day in Bordeaux. And
we missed the last tram this one time. And we're like, yo, shit, we don't know what's gonna happen to us. And yeah, we just made it couch surfing somewhere. It's hectic.
So yours is paradise.
But next time, we're gonna come through. We'll come through.
So I must say thank you for being here, because you're not many, but so what?
Quality, not quantity.
Mais vous devez
quality,
regarder un petit peu les images qui passent sur la TV. Et il y a notamment une pièce avec une composition et avec, je sais pas si c'est pour une toile. Is it a little stretcher on that piece that comes on top of it?
Which one? Oh.
There is a piece with a wooden frame like that.
Oh yes. What about it?
But is it a stretcher? A very simple stretcher?
It's just a frame.
Yeah.
It's just a frame.
A frame.
Yeah, so I didn't frame the work. The frame was.
The frame
Yeah.
is part of it.
Okay.
The sculpture, I love that piece. And there's another piece with the yellow and blue of Vermeer. There's a couple of, you will see the plates, you will see the big safety pin. Phenomenal, the big safety pin with the, c'est un miro, c'est incroyable. Elle a un énorme talent, très difficile à
Stop taking.
appréhender.
Yes, it has been
Mais
recorded.
ça, c'est normal.
Yeah, stop.